Clarity does not always come as a complete plan. Sometimes it comes as one honest realization, one boundary, or one clear next step. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Soft Healing Sundays, a space where we slow down, reconnect with ourselves, and remember that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who we've always been beneath the noise. I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. And over the past few weeks, we've been walking through a season of transformation together. In our last episode, The Pause and Redirection, we explored the importance of slowing down and allowing ourselves to step away from constant pressure to always be moving. We learned that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is pause. Today, we're taking the next step in that journey. This episode is called Clarity Comes because after the pause, something begins to shift. The mind starts to settle. The emotions become easier to understand. The distractions lose their grip, and little by little, we begin to hear the quiet voice within us that has been there really all along. So often, we believe clarity should arrive as a lightning bolt, a perfectly detailed plan with every answer laid out before us. But real clarity usually doesn't work that way. More often, it arrives gently. It shows up as one honest realization, one boundary we know we need to set, one decision that finally feels aligned, or one small next step that brings us closer to peace. If you've been feeling uncertain about your path, questioning your relationship, your purpose, or even yourself, I want you to know that you're not alone. Feeling confused doesn't mean you're failing. Sometimes it simply just means you've been surrounded by so much noise that you've forgotten what your own inner voice sounds like. Today's conversation is about creating the space to hear that voice again. And together we'll explore what blocks our clarity, how to recognize the difference between fear and inner knowing, and how to trust the wisdom that already exists within you. So take a deep breath, settle into this moment, and allow yourself to simply be here. This is your time. This is your healing. Are you confused, emotionally overwhelmed, or undecided between different choices? Do you feel like you should already have the answer? I want to let you know that it's normal to feel this way. It doesn't feel good to feel this way, but it's fine. And before I continue, I do want to add that while it's normal to feel this way sometimes, don't sit in the energy of feeling this way. This is a moment of when you have to speak life into yourself. Tell yourself that you have all the clarity that you need and believe that. Believe that you have that clarity that you need. Once you do this consistently, you will realize that your insights will flow more freely. And once you start to trust in yourself, you will be firm with your decisions and it will start to feel natural to you without it feeling so overwhelming. I know overthinking plays a part also, but guess what? Stop it. The minute you overthink something, you take away that power from yourself, because when you overthink, you are failing to trust your internal instinct, which affects trusting your intuition. When it comes to decision making, you know you have made the right choice when it feels peaceful to you. Try this. The next time you have a decision to make, write it down on paper. Use options and start off with two options. Read each option and see how it makes you feel. Does it give you anxiety or does it feel peaceful to you? Pay attention to your body and your gut as you examine each option. But I also want you to remember the option that feels like peace or like a weight has been lifted is the correct option. Trust yourself the first time. Don't look outside yourself for answers. You have all the answers that you need within. Listen to your body. The thing about going outside yourself is you can ask 10 different people the same question and receive 10 different answers. And then now what? You're still the person at the end of the day that has to live with the decision. You're still that person at the end of the day who has to make that final decision. Other people can give you their perspective, their opinion, but they cannot live your life for you because they don't experience the same emotions. They don't carry your responsibilities. They don't know every private detail. And most importantly, they don't have to wake up every morning and live with the consequences of that decision. Clarity may require honesty. Sometimes we're not confused. Sometimes we just don't like the answer. You may already know that something isn't working. You may already know that a boundary needs to be created. Or you could already know that you've outgrown something. You already know a conversation needs to be had. You already know where you've been abandoning yourself. But accepting that truth might require change. Clarity doesn't mean knowing everything. And I also want you to release the idea that clarity means knowing exactly what the next 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years of your life are supposed to be like or look like. You don't need all of that right now. Focus on the present moment. Maybe your clarity today is simply, I need rest, or I need to stop forcing this, or I need to have that conversation, or I need to give myself more time. I don't want this anymore. Give clarity room to find you. This week, I want you to create more quiet moments for yourself. Not necessarily hours of meditation, just moments. Turn the music off while you're driving sometimes. Put your phone down. Sit outside or take a shower without scrolling afterward. Journal before asking someone else what they think. Give yourself 10 minutes before reacting to something and allow your thoughts to settle. Because when you're constantly consuming or talking or scrolling or asking other people, your own voice has to compete with all of that noise. So think about that the next time you have a big decision to make or whatever other clarity you may be seeking. This doesn't always have to relate to decision making, it could be anything in your life. And as we close today's episode, I want you to remember this: clarity does not always come as a complete plan. Sometimes it comes as one honest realization. You don't have to force yourself to figure everything out today. You don't have to have every answer before you move forward. And you don't have to keep searching outside of yourself for something that may already be quietly speaking within you. This week, give yourself permission to slow down. Listen to your body. Listen to your thoughts without immediately judging them. Pay attention to what brings you peace and be honest about what you're feeling. And most importantly, practice trusting yourself. When the overthinking starts, come back to yourself. When the outside opinions become too loud, come back to yourself. When fear makes you question everything you've realized, come back to yourself. Your clarity may not arrive loudly. It may whisper, this is what I need. This is what I know. This is my next step. And when it does, trust yourself enough to listen. Thank you for spending another Soft Healing Sunday with me. I hope today's episode reminded you that you don't need to have your entire life figured out to move forward with intention. Take what resonated with you today and carry it gently into your week. And until next Sunday, remember, see clearly, move confidently, live intentionally. I'll see you in the next episode.